All right. Back to hobo copping.
There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green
Oh, it took
and
long enough.
indiscriminately snakeskin,
Thanks for that
reunited
composure.
on your feet. Like two baby crocodiles.
These do not look like normal cop shoes.
It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are.
How do they fit?
Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Shoes that you've worn in well. Nothing more comfy. Hello, chat peeps. We are back here to make more mistakes and try to make more people upset for the name of good.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Some form of justice.
My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Just beg for money. So, you're the owner of this store?
The proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
What if I want to buy a book?
Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? See those shelves there? Go. Be drawn.
So what type of books do you have?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Girl outside mentioned that this place is cursed.
Cursed? Who said that? Annette? I will have a word with her. This place is not cursed. It has a robustly magnetic energy. Good for commercial activity. My business is thriving, sir.
Press X to doubt.
What in God's name is she talking about?
Hello, Richie Fur.
Your daughter is the one standing outside the store, right?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Yes.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
I'll just give her a 10.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
Great value add. All this pressure has made her really anxious. You know she's been chewing her nails.
God. Ugh. I've told her not to do that. It's such a disgusting habit. She'll get over it. Anxiety is a part of life.
Wow, well, you sound like a person who has your anxiety perfectly in control.
I don't think she can do anything about
She
it.
can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
Yeah, it's actually super alright for kids to chew their hands off. Forget I said anything. No, what you're doing is wrong. Even I know that. I usually don't know anything.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change. She's looking for one, but there simply aren't any good arguments for being an asshole.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
Hello, Ray.
Hello.
Told me she doesn't go to school anymore.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
And hell freezes over? Never mind. It's not a good topic to get into.
This husband Annette's father.
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Grand Couronne.
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighbourhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
And your husband's also involved in the bookstore.
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Super silent. Almost inaudibly so.
Redrick's getting a workout. Is she an only child?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
Of course, yes. This economy. No, why not?
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
The woman looks aloof. Her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Farewell for now, book peddler.
Licence.
Gift books and molten candy.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Look through the pile of Wirral-related items.
An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition.
Ah, role-playing.
There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure gamebook titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books?
Anything that really catches my eye?
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. That price is steep, but then it's the 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplement, so it makes sense.
Need 25 real to buy Weirall.
Wonderful board games, sir.
Words, what are they?
Viticulturist is a classic for sure. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Growlbritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
So it's Catan. Or Monopoly.
Who are
Take
you
your
going
pick
to
of
play
Friendship
board games
Destroyer.
Do you have friends or family?
Did Rick speak to Sylvie in the last session? I think so. That's the orange woman, right? Or no, that was the waiter.
Sylvie was the girl over the phone.
Yeah, that was the waiter. Yes,
Yeah.
we talked to her.
It certainly feels like whatever you are
Damage morale.
will die with you.
I don't feel as if I have any kids.
Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
They're a bit on the nose with this. What about all these Weirall things?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things.
Yeah, who'd play role-playing
Personally,
games?
I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
I mean, they are some of the priciest stuff here, so of course she's going to sell them.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyamdal somewhere. Rows and rows of Hyamdala men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyamdal and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyamdal, Return to Hyamdal. And the solipsistic Man from Hyamdal and the Hyamdal Man.
Good God, how many are there?
Maybe 100. Man from Hyamdal and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hyamdal and the false god. Man from Hyamdal and the scorched earth. Man from Hyamdal, the Hyamdal colonies. Man from Hyamdal and the swamp beast. Man from Hyamdal and the snow crabs.
Is that all?
Not even close. Man from Hyamdal in hell. Man from Hyamdal and the forest of slaves. Man from Hyamdal under the lake. Man from Hyamdal, Hyamdal burning. There's even the Trial of Death, a pastoral combat game book set in the world of Hyamdala Man, and so much more.
Pain threshold. Do any of these books call out to me?
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
What is it?
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Hyamdal in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Hyamdala man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hjelmdal and the Devil Woman.
Aren't all women devil women?
Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region. It's symbolic of vice and sin. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hjelmdal novels.
Doorkeep, tell me about the Muscle Man books.
Oh, Man from Hjelmdal. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Say, why are they so popular? But she just explained it.
Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Sounds good. Which one should I start with?
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjelmdalaman, the Man from Hjelmdal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Okay.
Yo, dude, you get the latest issue of Hjelmdal, man?
Tome of Fascist Magic. Rather candid. I mean, picture book pusher. Very colorful.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of Famous People. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce. I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
That's about which of these innocences is the coolest and the greatest.
Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings.
Do her words seem vague and abstract to you?
So you recommend it?
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
Well, we are in chaos.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
Well, maybe I should come back after I actually have money. Another boring book, just discarded here.
I mean, you can.
Everyone knows the most interesting things about fascists was their magic. That's this curtain.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Damn, this strange cage-like trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
That's definitely a charm of some description.
This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges.
God, playing a hobo cop with a high encyclopedia is like very weird because you like know everything and have like no ability to apply it to anything.
Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Let's open the curtains.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
This is about the curse. That's why you're afraid.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate it beyond the threshold.
You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Step away, dear sir.
Yeah, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
Being very threatening about this. I don't care, you can't stop me. I'll open them.
No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme.
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say.
Talking is my strong suit.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting
Rip them
you.
apart this time for real. Fine. That's so important about the curtains.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side.
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
She recites it like it's a poem, or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of.
Or she's, playing into some kind of a curse or a spell or something.
Why are you still talking about books? Are you trying to put a spell on me?
A spell? As if. This place doesn't need any spells or hoodoo mumbo-jumbo. This place has wonderful energy.
She's trying to will the energy back into existence. Then something breaks.
Okay, fine. It's because this place is cursed. Just like Annette said, they don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
Well, if it's ruined, I can go back there now, right?
You just tell me right away it's the curse.
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Wow. Void raves. You have new words.
How does this curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
She looks around the dimly lit
It's the
store.
curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Nat mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles.
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Have you sought help from anyone else? From anyone?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough.
You're pinned in part of the wards as well.
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%.
Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people.
Would you like me to take the case? I could investigate, see if the curse is real.
Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be, so they can return to their slumber.
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective.
Convince her to let you investigate the commercial area.
Slither
Yeah.
up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her
Oh,
what
drama.
world-class perfect looks like.
Yes, drama comes through.
Wait, what if I don't want to lie?
You're not lying. You're giving her peace of mind. The means are thus justified.
Ah,
Welcome back. Welcome back, Lizard Brain.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
I sense the psychic emanations from afar. The sleeper beyond calls out.
I'm not sure I can trust your claims. Honestly, you look like a bit of a drinker. I'm sorry for being so blunt, but
The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then, rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
Usually it's necessary to drink the spirits in order to contact the void. Or, I admit I've had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is psychologically taxing.
how do you
Parapsychologically
know
taxing.
all this?
Here we go.
powers to de-battle the bad energy.
Your awards brought me here in the first place. The Simone's blood also runs through me.
You're part Simonese. Oh, it means our meeting couldn't have been mere chance. The hand of fate guides us. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
Lunchbox says, this game made fun of my choices at one point and called me a boring centrist who couldn't make up their mind. A true paragon of social intern.
Yeah. I think we need to bring Kim in on this.
I mean, the game definitely wants you to be a little crazy. That's where the game is more fun.
Yeah, the game is more fun if you try to commit to the bit. Basically, is what it's trying to get you to do. Hi, Stoker.
Hello. Superstar cop. Hey, Stoker.
Just as my partner Kim. He'll vouch for me.
Oh,
Lieutenant mumbles in minor confusion. He has not been listening closely enough. You've put him on the spot.
I can assure you he is a police officer. Very knowledgeable.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
On my honor.
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Oh boy.
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Of course, the entity. For I have sensed its presence.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Sure.
Chimney, the passage between heaven and hell, of course.
Yes.
Oh, Stoker,
that
you're
chimney
probably
is part
missing
of
some
the building's
context here.
central
We
fence,
went into
and
this
it's
bookstore.
enormous.
This
She
lady
has
is very
barricaded
convinced that her
herself
store is
behind some
cursed.
metal security
And now we are
curtains.
trying to convince her that we
God
are
knows
a
what she's doing there.
parapsychologist so that she will give us access to the back room so we can go fight off the demons for her.
I mean, of course, that's just like a typical Tuesday.
I mean, we're supposed to be investigating a murder, but this seems more fun right now.
I mean, it does. What is a parapsychologist if not someone who's investigating a murder really, really late?
Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
Lady, I don't think anxiety even begins to describe what you are.
Unbelievable.
I am
darkness
anxiety,
and
and so
ruin.
can you.
What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared.
A few more questions about the curse.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Autosave.
You see
Before the
a
boss
set of
fight.
tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Pull the curtains open.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Oh!
Tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. Vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. It looked kind of like David Bowie.
I mean, he
A
was
heavy
vaguely
door with a
androgynous.
missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens if not hundreds,
I don't know if I'd call
of
it that
Siamese
vague.
trinkets and charms. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
I would ask him to go in. I'm the lead here.
Workout room.
And is dripping from the punching bag.
What is this place?
Looks like a gym to me.
Yes, but no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
Let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here.
Sounds good.
Custer says, Sidious Fortis, the rest is worn off.
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar?
Legendary. It's familiar because I'm a weightlifter.
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and the
Right.
whistle. Then the feeling is gone.
High school wrestling then.
It's just a memory.
Close.
A memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
No collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
Actually, I don't really care about safety hazards. What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? Should be a felony.
It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore.
The straightest of straight men.
Without wall
Yes.
bars, they look unsafe.
Actually, funny you say that, Ray, because he is actually the gayest of straight men.
Hallways blocked out by the old window panes and debris. Large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Airship rotors covered in spider webs that remind you of blades. Naked mannequin torso, strange yellow color. Ooh.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
A radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
Do you think I should turn it on?
We have one of these down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it.
Okay, let's turn it on.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Look
It's
inside.
empty like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected.
This is where the memory should go.
Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Well, if we find
You
any memory,
repeated
we
this
know where to
70
put
more
it.
times.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin. And even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind? You should adopt one of those Wilkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a Welkin.
Oh no.
One of the Welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the Welkin. This is important.
It's Vara Hamira, a high Welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin, Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures.
And when they want to greet a newcomer, they send out the welkin wagon.
Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions.
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
How did anyone spend so much time on this?
Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game.
It sounds very silly. Why would anybody do that? One of them is a Welkin supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too.
Oh, this has been educational.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
Back the photo.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried-up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe." This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Minimi stands for a mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN. Station 41 tried to implement it a few years ago, but failed.
How you feeling about this reimagined jargon, Ray?
I blocked out Agile.
Keep reading. What happened?
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
Looks like they didn't make it.
Lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details." The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe." This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kadran mosaic tiles. Very pedantic.
Hold on, how do I know what Cajun mosaic tiles are supposed to look like?
History classes, students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun.
What am I looking at?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
They're dealing with something medical
You
here.
think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants.
Hey, who's a game master?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game
that's
Master's
right.
frequency.
So, yeah, I was trying to remember this because I remember seeing a different streamer play this scene. Yeah, they're making a radio-based MMO, which is like a very interesting idea from the people who are writing Disco Elysium.
Well, with this technology, it would be a muck at best, but yeah.
Yeah.
If it's a game,
Whoever
who's
decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
How do you say that?
The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell were they making?
Yes, that is the question. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Through call-in stations, none of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in a game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Has anyone ever done this before?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry.
Not in Revachol West, among the ruins.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
This was a role-playing game?
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the We World board game, with hit death thrown in.
Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game is too good to be left unfinished.
Conceptualization is fun. What do you think happened to the company?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Ah, wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but
Curse got him, I see no other explanation.
Yes, especially in here.
Types howl and a rat crosses the floor in front of your feet.
Okay, let's keep moving.
Blue, velvet, soft to touch, moth bitten. A lot of creaking in this room. Ah. 155 real. Making some money.
Wait, can you go to the bottom left? Or from inside the room?
Right here. Oh, there's a door right here. Keys with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. Another drawer with production schedule filament memory. Ah.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard. Like a smooth
production
draw,
schedule.
the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good afternoon. Fortress accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
That's the production schedule.
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
The glowing thing I put inside.
Yes. Is that the production schedule?
Yes.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Password. Of course it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved.
I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Why'd you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
You have any other information about this company?
One moment. Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalog says.
That's not bad.
Wow, so conceptual. And what's that, this interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
What are you, a machine, or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne.
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
Yvonne, my partner tells me that you're here because radio computer guys are all paranoid. Sure, why not?
They are merely cautious. It's my job to protect their filaments as a password repeater at the East Insulindian Station.
Okay, but where are you? How did you know where I am?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios. Now, please tell me if there's anything else I can do, Fortress Accident.
Let's try the password for the production schedule.
Good. Please repeat the password.
This is the police. Please open this thing.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder, Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Received. I will...
Don't worry.
Fortress Accident. Thank you, and goodbye.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a...
Scribble across notebook. Developers are the most advanced RPG in the universe. Okay, this door. There's a refrigerator that is shaped like a bear.
You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost, and the bear's eyes are glowing red. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy?
What is this thing? Looks like a giant ice bear.
The lieutenant...
Ice Bear
doesn't
refuses
answer.
to share
His
beer.
eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door.
Crack open the
A
door.
gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun.
Relax, Kim. It's a fridge.
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
Why not?
Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name, Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge.
Take the
You
note.
pocket the note and the little fridge magnets keeping it on the door.
And the little fridge magnets.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge.
What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place?
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge.
So they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper carnivore.
I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice.
I'd do it. I'd buy it.
What is even more, the bear is still costing them money to this day.
Yeah, where's my vending machine that sells Cheetos and is shaped like a giant cheetah?
Yeah!
Lieutenant points to a red snaky cable running from the fridge.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic.
Handwritten note, you found a giant ice bear fridge. It bears some marks from the fruit-shaped kitchen magnets that were used to secure it to the refrigerator door.
The note is written with a blue
Bears.
pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on its surface.
Does it say anything interesting?
Then it leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder.
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Someone has scribbled, S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the offsite copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sully Swaff.
Who's the illiterate ginger kid?
Really? You don't have a single guess?
You mean Kuno?
Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter.
Any idea where the frozen ice cream maker could be?
I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge.
Seems like the logical idea.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
And what is this thing? Is it a furnace?
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney.
It's massive.
No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead rats.
It's
Kick it with your
dark
foot.
and grimy here. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing?
Not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs.
Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs.
Mirror your hands with coal.
Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
you've awakened the entity.
Don't
Oh,
leave
you there?
Inland Empire and
Speak to me.
conceptualization in a room together.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs, the sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Wall collapse, it's inaccessible now. Oh, is there anything else down here? Ice cream maker, defrosted and unplugged. Flashlight casts a strange shadow. There's a hidden doorway here.
Hello, Jonas.
Now,
Jonah.
The rusty rifles are hidden above the piping. They look inoperable. Someone has stuck some busted guns beneath the ceiling.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Where are we?
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache.
Look, there's a hole in the wall.
There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look?
Yes.
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find rusty rifles hidden away.
Rifles, Kim.
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the rest, but one catches your eye. A bolt-action model with a fine wood stock, in better cosmetic order than the others.
This one looks nice.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way.
What does this mean, a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find. Hobocop.
Not complete.
Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old L'Assommoir? To the pier or the sewers? To Le Royaume, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon, then fight the Aramakan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last.
Deal extra special collector's edition terror bottle caps on the map. More money from selling terror. Learning cap for shivers rages. Learning cap for shivers rages to 6.
Sick. Now better at finding money and sort of thinking with your gut.
This game is
Bell
weird.
Margrave rifle. Broken Bell Margrave from ages past. It's a 4-shot bolt-action military rifle with a wooden frame. Probably worth a pretty penny.
Also, does this mean you don't have to go searching for your gun anymore? You just use the rifle?
Well, it's broken.
Yeah, it's not functional.
Oh.
Frozen ice cream maker that's still running.
This orange
Nothing
machine
suspicious
is
about
buzzing
that.
like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner on top and an electric freezer that appears to be frozen shut.
Try to crack open.
You slip your fingers under the frozen lid, but the ice is too cold for you to get a good grip. A pry bar would come in handy here. If you want to try again,
Pry bar, you say?
then you need to have the pry bar in your hand.
Fruber.
Primber? A little primber!
Equip the prime.
Yeah, pry bar.
Are you laughing at me, Jonas?
I'm laughing with you.
Okay. But what if I'm not laughing?
Then I have concerns.
This
Oh, well.
orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner
Almost
on top
impossible.
and an electric
We're not
freezer
strong
that
enough.
appears to be frozen shut.
Minus 20. Wow, okay. I don't want to break my pry bar. It's a fed.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you dies with a soft electric purr.
Why did you do that?
Seemed like fun at the time.
I don't know why this thing should continue running, really. I don't know why I plugged it. I do things without any reason. No. It's black. It's not like it's a red one.
The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything. The electric distribution board now has one cable missing.
Fine, I'll plug it back in.
Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current, happy and contented.
I don't know why you're so concerned about this. Intercom wires. Oh, what's this? Insane mesh mesh tank top.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. East Delta Commerce Center? This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Mesh tank top. Where'd you even get that one? No, really, who put it in that drawer? No further comments. Wear it at your own risk. +1 drama. Clinically insane.
Drama.
We know drama.
We already had drama do one fun thing of playing into that bookkeeping lady's fears.
Mm-hmm.
Where are the clothes that it used to display? Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. Postcard La Delta 51. Sunlight has made this postcard almost completely sepia-toned. Midtown traffic passes overhead, the ghosts of skyscrapers disappear into a beige midday mist, vaporizing from the delta on which the district was built. The postcard is prepaid. Tray is full of dice, colorful polyhedral dice, hundreds of them. Candy dispenser has been repurposed to contain thousands of dice.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now.
Thank you, Inland Empire.
She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
So it all comes to a head. This whole thing does have a point to the murder investigation.
Hold on, what do you mean by Milius?
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Cytobolt says, Inland Empire in conceptualization is the most trustworthy. You have me confused with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Why are you asking me about dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Squint your eyes mysteriously. Answers.
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice and role-playing games. I'm not sure how helpful I'll be, but go ahead and ask.
The walls around her are covered with rows of precious stones and minerals.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shells like stalagmites. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
Hey, where are we anyway? What is this place?
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
She looks at the ruddy bricks that make up the walls. Even though they've been repainted, there are still signs of coal-black soot here and there.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Create here.
Heard this place is cursed. Did you know that people call it the doomed commercial area?
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Hey, explain what happened to all those companies then.
It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's often surprising to realize how many ventures actually fail.
Capitalism.
Capitalism.
Laziness is
Capitalism.
She's convinced that the place is swarming with malicious energies.
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Or is she just crazy?
Plaisance is a wise woman. She has Simonese trinkets protecting her against the curse.
Ah, the Simonese trinkets, of course.
She nods as if this explains everything.
But it doesn't. This is merely a sarcastic response.
Thank you, Rhetoric.
All right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Oh, the Whirling is part of the doomed commercial area?
You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project.
No, see, it's technically a separate building, so the malicious energies can't reach there.
Yeah, you need to have wiring. It has to be contiguous.
And then there is me.
She sighs, looking at a messy work table. All kinds of tools lie there scattered, from knives to carving files to wire cutters.
I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies in this so-called curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Are you sure you're not drama?
Starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions and natural market fluctuations.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring.
And now we're playing a video game about it.
But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
Report back to Plaisance.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
What do you know about the man who was lynched behind the Whirling in Rags?
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, Detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean daily ruckus?
Well, there's always something going on in the Whirling's backyard.
Stop trying to come up with an example.
During daytime, there are usually those kids. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of drunk workers hanging about. Must be because of the strike.
She's heard of the murder, but did not see it, sire.
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid.
Never took your eyes off work to look out of the window.
I might have.
Did we say it was Sunday? I don't remember
all
us
I would have seen
mentioning
is
that.
my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
I think she's heard about the lynching by this point.
Maybe.
A likely
Maybe.
story.
It's really hard to
maybe
make
she
anything
does
out
know
in
a
the
thing or
yard when
two.
it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
You often work Sunday nights.
It's an odd profession, making dice for people. But I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
Gee, thank you for your answer.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Oh, Kim did say it was Sunday. Damn it.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Oh, quite a lot of them spring to mind.
Used to be a hair salon here, right?
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad. It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
What's wrong with a bit of experimenting? Customers should have been more open-minded.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
What happened to the gym?
It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
And who is our Minitep?
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back.
Maybe that's what Kuno needs, a community-centric boxing club.
Kuno. Who's Kuno?
Indeed, who is
Kuno
Kuno?
is Kuno.
Who is Kuno? Your guess is as good as
Oh,
mine.
yes. You mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard.
She looks out the window. It's oddly quiet there at the moment.
I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
How did that community project work out?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
It's not really full of that. No one would store their drugs like that.
It seems like a precarious place to put your drugs.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What's up with the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milieu. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
Encyclopedia doesn't know. You failed us.
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Cool. Very cool about the debris, but what's a stuff, Milo?
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Someone here makes stuffed animals? I saw mounts lying around.
You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else?
On creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect right? I didn't know insects had any rights or activists.
Yeah, the atelier didn't know it either. They produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
But insects don't have any brains or feelings.
Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the windowsill in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else?
Well, dead flies tend not to move.
What was with the rotor blades and skis?
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
Interesting. What do these transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
They were just props. Why return them?
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
You mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
From what I've seen so far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die.
That's a 1 in 20 chance.
The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
There's a terrifying taxidermy bear in the cellar.
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here.
smiles and leans closer, hands on her knees like a stand-up comedian ready to tell a story.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
Alright, what about the other ideas?
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
What did they expect? 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up to work at all.
Oh, but they did. They did show up to work, and not alone. There were also acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear.
What about the bear?
The bear.
You're pressing thumbs into her temples like trying to suppress a headache. It didn't work out?
Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishore Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
But those fridges weren't bears, so they weren't as cool.
Yeah, nobody appreciates vision.
I killed the bear.
I killed the bear.
You did what?
I had to kill the bear to become the bear.
Murdered it with my own bare hands.
Laid it to rest. It's my trophy now.
These are all great.
I know, right?
I kind of want to go for the bare hands one.
Murdered
I mean,
it. With my own bare
yeah.
hands, I laid it to rest. It's my trophy
Really?
now.
You broke it? What a shame. It was a terrifying beast, but I was fond of it. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. He called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool.
Megatherion?
Megatherion. A mega wild beast.
Okay.
It's a mega wild beast.
It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
I don't have a comment on drugs.
Understandable. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
She seems almost sad finishing the story. Some dust beams swirl in the afternoon air. Her eyes follow it idly.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
Found the building's intercom, but it's not working.
Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me.
Excuse me.
I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
Telling me that doorbell with the empty name card was yours?
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
Why hasn't her business failed?
Maybe try it.
You feel nothing. If anything, it's uncomfortably warm in here.
Start taking off your clothes. You need to connect.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Officer!
Just me, or is it hot in here?
No, I don't feel hot. We're in a derelict smokestack. If anything, then it's cold here.
Never mind, that was a terrible
Undressing
idea.
in a stranger's place of business? Yes, it was an unbelievably bad idea.
Miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior. He's still recovering from an unusual medical episode.
That doesn't really excuse it, does it?
I love how quick Kim is to cover for you, even though you've known him for like 6 hours or something.
I have grown attached.
He is like little child. I must protect him.
Looks like William Lemillion, that hair poster.
You're alive and well. Don't keep me waiting now. What's in there? In that dark sarcophagus?
The dark sarcophagus. Pause dramatically.
Yes, yes. How was it?
Tell her how ghastly it was. You know it's what she wants to hear.
The Charnel House of Failed Business Enterprises, leeching life energy from this bookstore.
I knew it. Oh, such horrors that have been thrust upon us. But what else did you find? Did anything survive? No, of course not. Have you located the entity?
I talked to the entity you told me about. Her name is Nia, and she's a novelty dice maker.
A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep.
No, ma'am, I have felt her aura. She is not the one to blame for this curse.
I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is the source of the doom? How did she explain the curse?
The narrative she's built herself, it does need tearing down. She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in her palm. Just don't say you don't have any answer yet. The uncertainty is killing her. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Do I get a say in this?
No.
The taxidermist shop. Sure, let's lie about this. Sure, it's something that she wants to hear. On the other hand, there are too many. She says it's just capitalism. Bankrupt is a quirk of our economic system. That's boring. She doesn't want to hear that.
Oh, how
I like the
horrible.
last one.
I knew something wasn't right about that place. Tell me, did you find a way to break the curse?
Spirit of William Lemillion. Yes, I performed the ancient Simone's dispelling rites. This commercial area is doomed no more.
Of course. I trust my Simone's wards and charms kept you safe while you perform the ancient rites. All that matters is that the energies are retreating. I can already feel the curse lifting. It will be a long time until we're fully free of it, of course. But still, thank you, officer. Truly, you've brought a better psycho-emanation to this humble bookstore, and that's no small achievement.
Wow, 70 experience.
She so badly wants this to be over. She would have believed anything.
All right, then. All's well that ends well. Should we return to our ordinary lives?
Oh, if you want to be boring.
I don't know. This was kind of fun.
Yay, we got more points. What do we want to do?
I still say save your fare. I just don't like seeing anything sitting at a 1. Although we could just take off our shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes are comfortable.
Why should I worry?
Some pretty high heels, though.
Yeah. Because I've got sweet savoir faire.
It's street savoir-faire.
Damn it.
Don't speak to me. Don't speak to me of the ancient magic.
But sweet savoir faire is a better lyric.
Miller, you're fired from 80s.
I was there when it was written.
You get like special stuff if you actually level things up to the maximum.
Okay. I was like, that wasn't the 80s. That was from Oliver and Company. That was like 90. Oh god, it was 88.
All right. You're double fired from 80s.
That movie is 8 years older than I am.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's right.
How dare you? Stop being so young.
Yeah, it's gross.
Yeah.
He said,
Again, maximize drama.
What do you care about me being young, Stoker? Isn't everybody young to you? Aren't you like thousands of years old or something else? But you look like a 12-year-old.
Like, look like... Yes, I look like a heavily bearded 12-year-old. Hello there. I'm 12. Hi.
Shivers is probably useful. Because that's the spider sense.
Yeah. I am down for getting all of the things that either allow you to mess with people or give you a little bit of like magical supernatural abilities.
Who's a mawatchical?
Yeah.
Flu's a madukikil.
We haven't seen it yet, but there is some freaking weird stuff in this game.
No, really?
With like paranormal things.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm down to clown.
One operated viewer has been banged up. Inoperable.
Oh no.
Two roundabout north. Two Cape Side apartments. That is pure. You got a bag in your hand. Perhaps you can collect these bottles and sell them.
This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible.
Poor little viewer. Or vandalism. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Vandalism.
Probably some kids.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. That's Kuno on the lens. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the Star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian Church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. Around the large wooden building you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Ad reads broken window. Tibbs has windows.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
Tourist attraction doing here?
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick.
What happened?
They got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was Everard Clare, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here.
Can't we do something about it?
We should have done something about the union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost. The lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible, a half-sunken sea fort, its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
The cormorant surveys the sea indifferent to your approach. Belly, this boat shines like it was recently painted.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Conceptualization impossible. Why am I looking at this wall?
You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinez. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
There's that kid from earlier. And this won't be of use until the snow melts. Balcony with a view to the yard and the hanging. Smoker could be up there, could be a witness. Talk to him.
Yeah, what's that noise?
There must be another way into the building.
Chairs and tables eaten by rain and rot. Orange bum hat.
Well, you're not supposed to wear hats on your bum. That's just silly.
Just a closed door, but you look at it suspiciously. Barrels are half full of rainwater.
Perhaps they're half empty of rainwater.
Lakeside Apartments. We just sank it. Kings Lane. Roundabout north. Tie the frame of motorcycle in repair and the tools used to disassemble it.
Hey! Up here, Piggo!
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue d'Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Yeah, when were you last tested? Let's start with your blood type and go from there.
Go where? Accosting a minor?
Listen to your partner, pigman. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
You know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon whore. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershot. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
They don't know what to write.
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so...
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing, or I'm gonna have to stop you. This is hooliganism. I don't think we can actually stop her, so.
Has not being able to stop anyone...
Sure the inspiration will come
Ever stop
to me
anyone?
now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, Ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
And it's midnight.
Oh, so it is.
Yep.
Man, seems like it became midnight round about this time last night.
Funny how that works.
Seems like it happens every day.
It feels like it happens like, every 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59.06 seconds.
Give or take.
All right, look.
Yes,
Look at what, Jonas.
What are we looking at?
You brought for us.
I don't know.
No.
But it's show and tell. It's your turn.
Yeah, okay. Here, I brought a paper bag. It's got my lunch. Anyway, good night.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. See you next time.